Hey guys, so this cold open has nothing to do with Weird and Wild Creatures, but what it does have to do is a new addition to my room. Oh, look at this. How glorious. I finally have all of my Funko Pops up. They have been sitting under my bed since I moved into this apartment. Look at that. They're all there, like, except for the ones I've hidden around the rest of the house, but goodness me, check this stuff out. Oh, gosh, I'm so happy. Oh, man. It's about time, too. I spent so long trying to figure out exactly, like, what kind of design I wanted for the shelf and stuff, but thankfully, some really good people helped me make this shelf, and it turned out amazing. I just wanted to kind of show it off since, I've mentioned in the past how much I like Funko Pops and everything. And that's today's cold open. Welcome to the video. Hi. Let's talk about some creatures though. Breaking news. A new episode of Let's Be Frank starting now. Hello all. Welcome back to Weird and Wild Creatures. You guys know the drill. We're going to talk about some really cool creatures today. But first, I got to address something, because I don't want it to be speculated. I'll just come out and say it. I'm home today, as you can see. Katrina's got a much more professional green screen setup with like actual professional lighting at her place. So a lot of times when I film with a green screen, I try and do it there. All of the modern Weird and Wild Creatures videos have been filmed at her house. But today she just so happens to be out of town. And so here I am, probably reaching my hand outside of the green screen. And I am here to film by myself today. And so the setup's not the same, the chair's not the same. And my placement is going to be a bit different. Normally I try and put myself as far to the side as I can. But again, if I do that this time, I go outside the realm of the green screen. So I'm going to try and move myself aside, and there's a creature up here so you can see it in its full glory. Gosh, these bar stools spins easily. Let's go ahead and jump into the monsters of the past. I am literally moving around backwards. You guys get the point. Let's move on to the monsters of the past. So, our big bad monster of the past today is the Spinosaurus. This guy is cool. The Spinosaurus has always been one of my favorite dinosaurs. And he's huge. He's so big. He's bigger than a T-Rex. He's actually 45 feet long, this is on average, 16 feet tall, and like 12,000 pounds. This is a big creature, you guys. Now those spines on its back actually got up to 6 feet tall on their own. That's taller than me. And not by much, but that's taller than me. That's crazy enough on its own. But scientists think that, that sail back there was meant to gather in heat, and at night it would kind of release all that heat, keep this cold-blooded reptile a little bit warm. Now, of course the card doesn't say this, because these cards came out a while ago. But, we've made a lot of recent discoveries about the Spinosaurus. And a lot of scientists think that nowadays it spent most of its time in the water. So maybe that sail gathered heat less, and it was more to help it help it swim through water a bit more, I almost used the word aerodynamic, but aerodynamic is when you're in the air, not underwater. Hydrodynamic, I guess. This card even mentions that the Spinosaurus's teeth were more like a crocodile's, and it probably ate more seafood than it did other dinosaurs. But maybe it didn't just live near the shore, but instead, man, I am probably Ooh, watch the magic trick. My hands are gone. Whoa! I'm trying here, guys. But maybe it swam in the water, swam around and caught fish and sea creatures while under there, while it spent all of its time. I think that's perfectly reasonable, We made a lot of advances in science that teach us about the Spinosaurus. I feel like I'm giving you old information, but these are the monsters of the past. I mean, you can't really update the Weird and Wild Creatures cards. And just one last bit of info you guys probably already know about the Spinosaurus. He was actually prominently featured, in the third Jurassic Park movies. The card refers to him as the main antagonist, but it was a good movie. It's underrated in my opinion. It's a good Jurassic Park movie. But let's move out of the past, as we always tend to do, and into the future. Let's talk about the nightmares of nature. For our nightmare of nature today, we're talking about the spotted hyena. Everybody knows the big thing about hyenas is it sounds like they're laughing all the time. So imagine you're like this dying animal and you see a pack of laughing, blood-stained hyenas running towards you. I can't think of a thing more terrifying if you're like a zebra or gazelle. Sure, cheetahs are fast and scary, or lions, powerful creatures you gotta look out for. Hyenas are just plain scary, man. A lot of times when you think of predators like this, you think of really sharp teeth that can rip and tear through flesh. Well, the spotted hyena has got those teeth in the front, but their back teeth are very flat and dull. But there's a purpose to them. Those teeth can crack bones so easily, even the bones of an elephant or a rhinoceros are no match for those back teeth and can easily be cracked and broken by a hyena. Your femurs don't stand a chance. And talk about a big dog. I grew up with 2 Great Danes in a house at the same time, and that was a lot. This hyena can get to be 6.5 feet long, which sounds absurd to me. 3 feet tall to the shoulders, which that's pretty freaking good. And 175 pounds of pure dog. That's too big, if you ask me. That is too big. As we go ahead and flip this card around, I want to show you these bottom pictures down here, while also telling you some more facts about them. So let me just disappear from frame. Ugh. These hyenas do not care about getting all bloodied up when they're devouring their food. Look at that down there. Just look at that. They will stick their heads fully into these carcasses, and when they remove them, they might even look like they've been injured themselves. This is the kind of graphic content that is shown on these cards. Children buy these. But you know what? It shows the valuable life lesson that some children do not understand table etiquette. Now, let's move on to the toxic terrors. For today's toxic terror, we are going to be talking about probably one of the most hated insects of all time, the common wasp. Gross. And not even just gross. Gross isn't even the right word. Wasps are just little balls of hate that just want to make your day miserable. I hate wasps. We've talked about killer bees in the past before, but wasps are just, they look for trouble and they always find it. No, I don't get what they gotta be so angry about. These guys only live for 2 to 3 weeks. Weeks. Not months, not years. Weeks. A queen, on the other hand, can live up to like a year. But, man, you ever get stung by a wasp? That little dude's only gonna be living for another week or more. I mean, good lord. And he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Because he's not like a bee, where when they sting you, they die. When a wasp stings you, it doesn't die. So it can go back again and again and again and more and more and more. As if wasps weren't bad enough already, the dad wasps are the absolute worst of them. The dad wasps serve no purpose. They are actually kicked out of the nest more often than not after they, fertilize the queen. Yeah, all they do is sip nectar and look for a queen to make more babies with. That is their sole purpose, is reproduction. Besides that, their one and only goal is to make your life miserable. And yeah, there's not much more to say about wasps. All the worker bees are female. The queen lives alone with all of her offspring. They build nests however they can. They unlike bees who at least make us sweet honey, a wasp's purpose is to live. That's it. That's it. They don't benefit nature. They don't benefit society. They only try and benefit themselves. Next, we're talking about the monsters of the deep. For our monster of the deep today, we are going to be talking about the hagfish. It's disgusting, guys. This thing excretes some... I'm moving to the back again. This thing excretes some truly awful slime that will trap its prey and make it unable to move or clog its gills. And the hagfish will just leap right inside of it, eat all of its innards, and leave the carcass behind. That's the hagfish's MO. Get in, scoop, get out. But this creature's got some things going on. I want to read you this part of the card word for word because it has got some things going on. It's about 2.3 feet long. That's not the funny part. Here, body parts. Boneless, worm-like body, small testicles, 2 rough tongues. Oh man, imagine if you went down in history as being described as having 2 small testicles. Ooh, wouldn't be me. But these guys have been around for a long time. There are fossil records of these hagfish from like the dawn of time. They know how to get things done. They know how to survive, apparently, with those 2 tongues it has. But the worst part about this guy is that he can, with his little tentacles around its head, I use that term loosely, he doesn't even have eyes. But the tentacles around its head can sniff out blood and rotting flesh. So if this hagfish isn't interested on feasting on shrimp or worms at that time, he can go find a already dead animal, scoop out the innards if something else hasn't already taken it, and beat it out of there. I don't know, guys. The hagfish just seems like kind of a... sometimes I question why things exist. The hagfish, it doesn't have much going for it. Frankly, I hope I never have to encounter one. So let's move on now to the tiny terrors. For today's tiny terror, let's talk about the tiger beetle. A lot of good alliterations there, Frank. Good job. So the tiger beetle gets its name because it acts a lot like a tiger. It'll sit and wait, watching its prey go by, and when it's ready to pounce, it pounces. And then it uses its sharp, jaws. In this case, I guess you can call them jaws. They look kind of like pincers, but this tiger beetle uses its pincer jaws to grab and rip its prey apart. It has that name for a reason. Yeah, these guys are also pretty fast too. It can stalk and chase after an ant or a spider or something and devour the creature before it even knew it was being stalked. Like, you'll just be living 1 second of your life, walking around, having a good day, going back to the colony or whatever, and all of a sudden, boom, lights out, you're done. You don't even know what happened. No time to comprehend. Now, the tiger beetles do have one thing that normal tigers don't have, and that's wings. Could you imagine if real life tigers had wings? No, I don't want to imagine that actually. Tiger beetle, they do actually have wings though. And let's say they're in a position where they can't actually use those wings to escape. This guy can produce a musky or even fruity odor to distract the enemy and then make a beeline out of there. It is fast, as we mentioned. Can you imagine? I want to know what that fruity smell is. I want to know what that smells like. Native tribes in Mexico actually use crushed up tiger beetles mixed with water to make a drink. They like it. I can't say for certain if it's good or not. I haven't had it. I would try it though. I definitely would try it. But I might not get the chance. I probably won't get the chance to. Anyway, time to move on next to the Strange Wonders. And today's Strange Wonder actually takes us back into the water. We're talking about electric eels. Now listen, there was a point in my life where I thought electric eels were just works of fiction. I had no idea they existed. You're telling me there's a fish out there that can produce lightning, electricity? No. Can't possibly be real. They're real, guys. They live in the South American rivers, and they can deliver a charge stronger than a stun gun, 650 volts, to knock over a horse. That's how powerful these guys are. Their electricity is powerful enough to put a horse on its butt. And these guys just aren't like this big or so. No. Electric eels can get up to like 8 feet long and 44 pounds. These guys are giant. Like, oof, they'd be big to hold, but I wouldn't hold one. It'd shock you. Remember in the Amazing Spider-Man movie, the second one, where Electro gets his powers by falling in a vat of electric eels? Could you imagine if that was how the real world worked? This is kind of a tangent because, spider bites also give people superpowers. But like, could you imagine getting lightning powers just because you fell in with some eels? I don't know. Crazy stuff. Again, another reason why Kid Me was like, oh, electric eels are fake because they do stuff like that. Nope, they may not give people lightning powers, but electric eels will shock you. This is actually something else I want to read word for word. I don't want to mess up the wording here. The organs that create this eel's electricity are called electroplates. By itself, each electroplate can produce only a small charge, but the eel has up to 200,000 of them lined along its tail that work together. 200,000? No wonder these things can give a horse a heart attack. These guys are even kind of similar to batteries. It's charged positively at the head and negatively at the tail. This is one of God's coolest creatures, right? I mean, come on. This is cool stuff right here. This ain't your run-of-the-mill, like dumb fish swimming, useless fish swimming through the water. This is an electric eel. I'm blown away by this. I wish I had talked about electric eels sooner. I wish it wouldn't have taken me. Crap, what episode is this? Like episode 12, 13? Man, electric eels are cool. For as cool as these guys are, I think it's time we move on to what is, no doubt, the coolest part of these videos. The monsters of the mind. For our monster of the mind, we've got a creature you should know. The Loch Ness Monster. Old Nessie. Now everybody's heard of the Loch Ness Monster. It's supposedly found in, where else? The Loch Ness. And that can be found in the Scottish Highlands. Fun fact, Aaron, Kyle, and I might have mentioned this in the past, we actually went on a trip to the UK. And for a couple of days, we were in Scotland. But unfortunately, we never made the time to go visit the Loch Ness. Actually, on our last night there, oh gosh, we were all so tired and exhausted, but Kyle and I were really juggling with the possibility of driving an hour to go see the Loch Ness, like 3 hours before our flight home. We were this close to doing it. Oh, Aaron was so mad. Aaron did not want to do it. He was even more tired than the rest of us. Poor guy. I feel bad in hindsight. But we almost got to go see the Loch Ness. And I tell you, I would have gotten a picture of Nessie, okay? If you ask a lot of people, they would say the Loch Ness Monster either isn't real, like 90% of people would say that, or they would say that it's probably a surviving plesiosaur from way back in dinosaur times. Now, because the Loch Ness Monster has a lot of resemblances to the plesiosaur, from its flippers to its long neck, they're basically, at the end of the day, one and the same. The back of this card, it says, let me just read it. Here's the theory of how Nessie survived. Word for word. While all other dinosaurs became extinct, a few plesiosaurs survived for millions of years. So, here's the theory of how it survived. It survived. Then, after the last ice age ended, the monsters migrated into the freshwater lake and made home. So, that doesn't really give us an answer as to how it survived, besides it survived. But you know, one can assume. You can have your thoughts and opinions about Nessie. Maybe it's a prehistoric creature. Maybe it's a hoax, you know. Who knows? All I know is I really do regret not going to the Loch Ness back in 2020. That was right before COVID hit too, man. We were there, January of 2020. We could have seen it. I could have gotten that picture. But, oh well. That will just about do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with me in my below average set at the moment. Thank you so much for bearing with me in my entirety with all this busyness on the channel. But hey, guys, this is my 99th video. Next week, that's going to be my 100th video on the channel. And it just so happens to correspond with my 2-year anniversary. That's insane. It doesn't feel like I've been doing this for 2 years, guys. It feels like I just started 6 months ago. I am so grateful for everything you guys have done on this channel. You guys have given me hundreds, and honestly, you combine them all, thousands of views, like thousands of hours of watch time. That is unbelievable. It was always my dream growing up to be an actor or something, but honestly, this is nice. Just having a small group of people to enjoy my videos enough to subscribe, to like, to make comments, to have conversation in the comments. That's awesome, guys. I'm so thankful for all of you, and I am very, very excited for the future. I've said this a lot recently, but life has just been extremely busy. Work is having me, work a lot, many hours. And I've got some good plans for the future. I've said it before, they haven't happened yet. But the plans haven't changed. Just the timeline of those plans have changed. So if you're excited for the future, as excited as I am, subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Share this channel with your friends. Like the videos, comment. I don't know if there's still, I think there's still a bell button. Hit the bell button, guys. I know they took away the dislike button, so anything's fair game at this point, but oh man, thank you. Truly thank you. Follow my Instagram and Facebook, Let's Be Frank 2020. Let's actually get that out there. And follow my TikTok at Let's Be Frank TikTok. Time for dinner. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Until next time!